When is that one time that you had to turn to the dark side? I never thought I'd be the type of person to mess with someone over a parking spot, but my neighbor really pushed me. It started when this guy moved in next door 6 months ago. Seemed nice at first, but he had this huge pickup truck that he'd park right between our driveways. I couldn't get my car out without doing this crazy back and forth thing every single time. I talked to him about it nicely, over and over. He'd say sorry and move it, but the next day, it would be back in the exact same spot. This happened like 15 times over 2 months. Then he started leaving it there all night, which meant I'd be late for work because I couldn't get out without hitting his truck. When I'd knock on his door at 7 in the morning, asking him to move it, he'd get mad at me for waking him up. The last straw was when my wife went into labor. I'm trying to rush her to the hospital, and his truck is blocking me in again. I had to bang on his door for 5 minutes while my wife is having contractions in the car. He finally came out in his underwear, clearly drunk, and took forever fumbling with his keys. We almost didn't make it to the hospital in time. After that, I decided Kevin needed to learn his lesson. I work in social media stuff, so I know how to look people up online. I spent about an hour checking out Kevin's life and found some pretty interesting things. Turns out Kevin had been posting on Facebook about calling in sick to work while he was actually out fishing. His page was totally public, and he'd been sharing photos of himself at the lake. On the same days, he told his boss he was sick with food poisoning. You could see the times on his fishing photos were during work hours. I also found out where he worked because he checked in at his office a bunch of times and tagged his company in posts where he complained about his job and his boss. So I made a fake Facebook account and sent his boss a nice message saying I was worried about Kevin's health because I'd seen him looking really active at the lake on the same days he'd called in sick. I sent screenshots with the times showing. Kevin got fired 3 days later, but I wasn't done yet. I also saw he'd been bragging online about making his truck super loud and how he loved waking up his stuck-up neighbors. He'd posted videos of himself making noise at 6 in the morning. I sent those videos to our neighborhood group along with noise complaints from other neighbors I'd quietly talked to. Turns out everyone hated Kevin's truck, but nobody wanted to be the first to complain. Once I started talking about it, 3 other neighbors right away signed complaints too. Kevin got hit with a bunch of fines and had to pay to fix his loud exhaust or get charged every day. The truck started getting parked right after that, probably because he couldn't afford to keep paying fines when he didn't have a job. He moved out 2 months later, and I never told anyone it was me who sent those messages. I even helped him load his moving truck to act normal. Now I just wave at my new neighbor who parks like a regular person and doesn't make noise early in the morning. But I kept screenshots of Kevin's posts in a folder called Payback to remind me that sometimes you have to be smarter than the other guy when they won't listen.